Hello everyone. This is part 7 of the presentation on data communication module 1. So let's see something about the analog, the terminology analog and digital. It can be analog data, digital data, or it can be analog signal, digital signal. So in general, whenever you are hearing the term analog or digital, what should come into your mind for the first time? So the terms analog and digital corresponds roughly to continuous and discrete respectively. We already seen analog means continuous, digital means discrete. So that picture should come into your mind. So these two terms are used frequently in data communication in at least three contexts. Like throughout this subject, everywhere you will be seeing at least these analog and digital terms in three contexts, like data, signaling and transmission, like analog data, digital data, analog signaling, digital signaling, and analog transition and digital transmission. So what is data? Some fundamental terms, the entities that convey some meaning or information. So it could be like an image, or it could be some text, something that is conveying some meaning or information. Actually, if you are looking at computer science, this term data and information again will vary, but as of now you can treat them together. Then signal is what? Electric or the electromagnetic representation of the data. So the data you will be represented by using some electric or electromagnetic signal. That is a representation of the data. Okay, that is what we already seen. It can be an analog signal or it can be a digital signal. Using that you can represent your data. Now signaling is that process of converting, like the physical propagation of the signal, not converting, physical propagation of the signal along a suitable medium. So through a medium, how the signal is nothing but the electrical electromagnetic representation of the data. How the signal is propagated through a given medium, that propagation phenomenon is called signaling. Propagation of the signal. Now another term is transmission. So this is somewhat a complete process, like the communication of the data by the propagation and the processing of the signal. So here during that signaling part only that propagation is considered, but when you are using the term transmission, it is more general. The processing of the signal at the sender side and at the receiver side, what are all the processing of the signal happening, everything, that complete phenomenon is called transmission of some data. Data will be converted into signal, and that the signal will be propagated at the receiver side, it will be converted back to data, like that entire process is called a transmission. So we will see each one briefly, like analog and digital data. Analog data take on continuous values in some interval. That we already seen. Some continuous values will be there, like our sine wave, right? It can be a voice or video. And most data collected by sensors, because they are continuous in nature, are analog, such as the temperature and pressure. That means in every point of time we will calculate some value. So you will be getting an analog signal, not a digital signal. It will not be constant or discrete for a particular period of time. That is why the value collected by sensor is an analog signal. Now digital data take on discrete values, like it can be the text, when you are sending a mail, the text content or some integer values. So they are discrete, right? They are not, its amplitude or something is not varying over some period of time. So that is digital data. So normally the digital data will be encoded using a specific coding scheme, because if I am saying a text message, say hi, hello, that is something human readable, but for the computer to understand it, it should be converted in the form of zeros and ones, that is bits. So how this text containing alphabets and integers, everything, that is what are all the things you can see in your keyboard, how they are converted into something that the computer can understand or the medium can understand, or in the form of bits, then it will be converted into signal. Okay, that is a process. So that is some by means of something called encoding. Okay. So you can use different encoding technique like Morse code, IRA, etc. So these are for more detail you can see how these things are working. But for your information, this IRA is something popular, so that is why mentioned. I think all of you may be familiar with ASCII. IRA is nothing but ASCII itself, but in a different standard. Okay, that is IRA. Full form is International Reference Alphabet. and that is defined by ITUT recommendation. And this ITUT we already seen standard, and the US national version. So according to ITUT standard, it is IRA. The same IRA according to US national version, it is referred as the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. I think most of you are familiar with this term ASCII. That is why given is IRA is ASCII only, but the same in ITUT standard. Okay, some small variations are there between these two. Anyway, no need to see those things in detail for our course. Just understand what is analog and digital data. For digital data, this encoding is there. Analog data directly you can convert it into a signal. Okay. Then data and signal. Okay, so we already seen data. Now the time to see signal. So first, what is the difference between them? Difference, you know what is data and signal. Now like we have now 4 combination, like the data itself can be analog data and digital data. Signal also can be analog signal and digital signal. Everything is seen already. Now how they are related, like analog data over analog signal, analog data over digital signal, digital data over analog signal, and digital data over digital signal. Like that we will get 4 combination, and those things some briefing is here. So generally by default the analog data are a function of the time and occupy a limited frequency spectrum, that we already seen, because digital signal is actually having that infinite spectrum, but analog data normally it will be having a limited spectrum, and it is a function of time. The amplitude is varying as a function of time. And such a analog data can be represented by analog signal. We are not getting any confusion because data itself is of the form analog, so that we are getting the direct conversion from analog data to analog signal occupying the same spectrum. Okay, if you are taking the same spectrum, then there is no conversion at all. But if you are taking a digital data, similarly a digital data like in the form of zeros and ones, you can represent it by high and low voltage, that is digital signal, with the different voltage levels for each bits. Simply you may have multiple voltage levels. Accordingly we already seen if there are L levels, log L to the base 2 bits per level can be represented. Okay, and those things we already covered how these things are happening. So digital data can be represented by digital signal, analog data can be analog signal in a straightforward way. But when it comes to the representation of digital data using analog signal, it is not a straightforward conversion, because digital should be converted to analog to move over analog signal, right? So for that analog signaling of the digital data, we use a device called a modem. So modem is nothing but just understand what device is used and what it is. A simpler understanding is needed, because this modem, codec, these things in detail it will take even an entire course. Okay, I am just telling you what is that device used. That is modem, that is modulator and demodulator, that you already know. So what is the functionality of modem? That converts a series of binary voltage pulses, that is our digital data which is of the form binary voltage pulses, into an analog signal by encoding the digital data into a carrier frequency. Okay, so carrier frequency is the frequency of the signal that is used in the medium. So the medium will be supporting some standard signal format, and what is the frequency of that signal supported by the medium? That is called the carrier frequency. According to that carrier frequency, you have to convert your digital data into digital data, that is nothing but the binary voltage pulses. Digital data you can view as binary voltage pulses that should be converted into the analog signal by proper encoding. So that is a modulation part. Similarly at the receiver side, it will be demodulated back to the original digital data. So digital data to analog signal we are using modem. That understanding is enough. So the most common modem represent the digital data in voice spectrum. That means the underlying medium is that of the telephone line. So that is by voice spectrum, which is supporting the voice data. So what is the frequency range of voice? Accordingly the digital data will be converted, so that it can allow those data to be propagated over the ordinary voice grade telephone lines. So we already have this telephonic lines. So if we want our communication to use like the BSNL connection, you are sending the data, something like that. So that BSNL telephone connections we have, and it is basically for voice data, so voice graded telephone lines, and using that voice graded telephone lines you can send your digital information if you want with the help of a modem. So that is why you are having modem at your home when you are using that internet connection, if that is a mode you are using. Okay, now at the other side of the line there will be another modem that is doing the reverse process. The sender side modem will be doing the modulation part, the receiver side modem will be doing the demodulation part, that demodulates the signal to recover the original data. Okay, similarly, in an operation very similar to that performed by the modem, we have another device called codec. And why codec is used? For the analog data to be represented by digital signal. For digital data through analog signal, modem is used. Opposite, like analog data, but the signal is digital. Okay. Particularly if the analog data is a voice data, you can use something called a codec, that is coder decoder. For converting that voice data, which is the analog data, into the digital signal. Okay, hope the difference is clear. In essence, the codec takes the analog signal that directly represents the voice data. Just note on, this is codec is for voice data only, not a general for analog data. For voice, codec is one of the device. Similarly, for other type of analog data, there will be other devices with almost similar functionality. Voice data and approximates that signal into a bit stream. Mainly for why codec is popular, because that voice over IP, that concept, we are using internet for having our communicating our voice data. And that time our voice data is an analog data, and our if you are using the digital signal, then that conversion can be done by codec. Okay. At the receiving end, but depends, for analog data itself you can use analog signal or digital signal also. Different combinations are possible, and we will see which is more popular among all this. And at the receiver end, the bit stream is used to reconstruct the analog data back. At the center side, we will convert it into bits, and analog data will be converted to bits, and it will send as a digital signal. And at the receiver side, from the digital signal, the bits will be taken, and that will be converted back to analog data. So just from this, understand that the four combination, like analog data over analog signal, digital data over analog signal, like that the other two combination. Digital and analog, they are straightforward conversion. When it comes to cross conversion, we are using devices like a modem and a codec. Just understand where these devices are used. That's all. So that about the analog data, data and signal. Now the signaling part, like what is signaling? The propagation of the signal over a medium. That itself, if it is an analog signal, it is analog signaling. If it is a digital signal, it will be digital signaling. So when it comes to analog signaling, the signal is an analog wave. You can either use analog data. We told about four combinations. The first two combination, analog data over analog signal, or digital data over analog signal. That is analog signaling. Underlying signal is an analog signal. Okay. So if it is an analog data like a voice or the sound wave, you can directly convert it to analog signal. Say that is the normal functionality of a telephone. Okay. You are speaking, that is voice is coming, and the medium is also supporting analog signal. Voice graded telephonic lines we are using, and straightforward conversion. Okay. But when it comes to digital data, say binary voltage pulses, digital data, say binary bits converted to digital signal. Okay. Binary voltage pulses, if you want to send over the same telephone line which is supporting analog, then we have to use something called a modem. That is what we seen already. And there will be modulation on carrier frequency. I think how this modulation is happening and all, if it is there in your syllabus, I will be covering at that time. Right now, no need of that much understanding. If you are interested, you can read it exactly. Okay, how this is happening. Now, digital signaling of, similarly we have digital signaling, and the data can be analog or digital. this is not signal, analog data in analog signal form. Okay, analog data over digital signal, and analog digital data over digital signal. Digital data or digital signal is straightforward conversion. Some digital transmitter and receiver is needed simply. But when it comes to analog data, particularly voice data, say over digital signal, devices like a codec is used. Okay. Then the last part, so we seen data, signaling, and now it is transmission. I already told you the propagation as well as the processing of the data is called transmission. Okay, so we have analog transmission as well as digital transmission. So when it comes to analog transmission, means we are transmitting as well as processing the signal which is analog. Okay, analog signals, transmitting analog signals without regard to their content. That means ultimately we have to handle the analog signal, that's all. Within the analog signal, it can represent a digital data or analog data. Okay, that both the part will be clubbed together. The signal may represent the analog data, that is like voice or digital data. I hope it is clear. So analog transition means we are dealing with the transition of the analog signal, and the analog signal, the content can be, that is the data part can be either analog or digital. There is no difference. So in either case, analog signal will become, here on problem is attenuation. You know, you may heard about it. After some distance of travel, the signal will be getting weaker and weaker, or another word is attenuate, the signal will be attenuating. See, after a certain distance, so the amplitude value, that will keep decreasing. Okay, so initially say the signal will be like initially say this is our signal. Say after some time, see something like this, the signal is getting the signal is getting weaker, like, okay, and you are not able to detect the signal. So this kind of a process is called signal attenuation. So after some period of time, you have to amplify the signal. If it is an analog signal, you have to amplify it back to the original form. Okay, so this amplitude you have to increase to get the original form. That is called amplification. Okay, attenuate. So to achieve longer distances, the analog transition system includes something called amplifier that boosts the energy of the signal back to original signal. So this is something attenuation, why it is happening, that is some property of the signal medium, etc. How long the signal can retain its energy, that depends on different physical parameters. No need to think that much. Right now you understand that the signal initially with it will be with some fixed energy, and it is able to maintain its amplitude level, but after some time that amplitude will keep decreasing, and or the signal is getting weaker, and finally we will be reaching a situation we are not able to recover the original data back. So before reaching such a bad situation, you have to amplify the signal back to the original form. Okay, so using something called amplifiers. So unfortunately the amplifier, that is another difficulty. You know, with the normal signal there will be some noises also, right? So when you are amplifying the normal signal, the noise may be something minute. Along with the data, the noise may also get amplified. Okay, so how that amplification is happening, so electron students will be knowing it in detail, but we don't have to think as from computer science point of view, you don't have to go in that much detail. Just understand that basic understanding is there for everyone, right? What is amplification? Just making this amplitude back to the original amplitude, make it amplify it. So the amplifier, if you are looking its functionality, you can understand that when it is amplifying the signal, it may amplify the noise, if any, present in the signal. So initially it was a small noise. After amplification, noise is getting, noise is what unwanted signal, and those transmission impairments we will study in a separate session, but as of now you have an idea, right, what is noise. So the noise also get amplified, that is a problem. So with the amplifiers cascaded, why cascaded means at a different interval we have to place different amplifier. So that it depends on the type of medium you are using. If it is twisted pair, that medium properties everything we will cover in second module. If it is twisted pair medium, it is having some distance. If it is coaxial cable, if it is fiber optic, accordingly, depending on the cost you are spending, depending on the properties type of the medium, this how long the signal can retain its energy level will vary. Okay, so once it is started attenuating, you have to place an amplifier again, amplify it or back to original form, send it again. After some distance, again it will attenuate, make use of another amplifier. So you have to keep on doing that by cascading amplifiers like this. To achieve longer distance, the signal becomes more and more distorted because of this noise amplification. Because when you are using more and more amplifier, more and more noise amplifying chances are there. So accordingly, at the receiver side you will be getting lot of noise and the overall distortion level will be very high. That is one difficulty we are facing here. So for analog data such as voice, quite a bit of distortion can be tolerated. Okay, because if I am talking to you, if something is missing, still you can recover the type of information I am trying to convey, right? So when it comes to voice data, small distortions can be tolerated, but when it comes to digital data, if I am sending an email, some of the bits are getting scratched. You will not get the original information. So cascaded amplifier will introduce something called error, and that is somewhat more severe. Okay, I already told you this. When it comes to analog data, we use the term distortion, like we are not able to retrieve the original data. But when it comes to digital data, that such distortions are specifically called error, because 0 or 1 is getting interchanged. That value 0 become 1, 1 becomes 0, so that is error. Okay. Now that about analog transition. Now when it comes to digital transmission, this is something when it comes to analog transmission, basically we are dealing with the transmission of the analog signal, propagation and processing of the analog signal, and the content can be digital or analog. But when it comes to digital transmission, we are focusing only on the underlying content as a binary content. That means even though it is an analog content, it should be converted to some bits binary content by this process of sampling and condensation. Those things we will see later, and it is to be handled through the digital signaling scheme. Okay, so we assume that the content is binary. Okay, definitely the signal is digital signal, and we parallelly assume. So that means out of the 4 cases, we eliminated one case, that is digital signal and analog data. That analog data should be assumed as a binary content when it comes to digital transmission. A digital signal can be transmitted only a limited distance before attenuation. Noise and other impairments endanger the integrity of the data. Just like analog signal, here also after some distance the attenuation will happen. But compared to analog data, here the impact of the attenuation is something more, because it is going to endanger the integrity of the data, because we are dealing with the digital content. Okay, binary, zeros and ones. If it is changing, it is not possible for you to recover the original data. Okay, so that will lead to errors. So to achieve greater distances, like amplifier, here we are using something called repeaters. Okay, so the functionality is somewhat entirely different. Amplifier is trying to amplify the signal back to the original form, and along with the amplification of the signal, it may amplify the noise also. But what is done by the repeater is, it receives the signal, a digital signal, when it is getting attenuated. Before that attenuation starts, we will place a repeater, and at that point it will receive the digital signal and recover the pattern of ones and zeros from it and retransmit it as a new signal. So that is done by the repeater. Simply regeneration or the recovering regeneration of the signal, or when the digital signal is getting attenuated, we will place a repeater, and that repeater will receive the digital signal before attenuating. Just before attenuating, we will be placing the repeater, and from that it will recover these ones and zeros, and it will again retransmit it as a new signal. Okay, so that regeneration of the signal is happening, but without any amplification. This is the other one is amplification, but here instead of amplification we are using a phenomenon called regeneration of the bits back to the signal. Okay, hope this is clear. Thus the attenuation is overcome. So attenuation will be overcome because we are collecting the digital signal and the corresponding bits representing the signal, and we are resending it as a new signal. Okay, so no problem of attenuation. The same technique may be used with analog signal. If it is assumed to have assumed that the signal carries digital data. In the previous analog signal also, if it is carrying analog data, then you have to do the amplification. But if it is carrying digital data, same way you can receive the individual digital bit from the analog signal, and you can retransmit it as a new signal. So the same thing you can apply there also, but the underlying data has to be digital. That is a restriction here. At appropriately placed spaced points, the transmission system has repeaters rather than amplifier. At whenever there is a possibility of attenuation, place a repeater there. Like a cascaded amplifier, here we have a cascaded repeaters. The repeater recovers the digital data from the analog signal and generates a new clean analog signal. As there is no amplification here, there is no amplification of the noise, because we are just following something called a regeneration of the signal. So there is no cumulative noise problem. Okay, like what happened in the case of analog signal using amplifiers. And so we already seen digital and analog transition, but in general digital transition is preferred over analog transmission. And what makes it different? This can be asked as a question that is already asked also. So just note down some of the attractions of the digital transmission. So both long haul telecommunication facilities and the intra building services have moved to the digital transmission as of now, and digital signal techniques wherever possible. So the most important reasons of this digital migration, digital transmission are as follows. Some of the noticeable things. First, technology use, the digital technology. With the advent of the large scale integration and very large scale integration, VLSI and LSI technology, that caused a continuing drop in the cost and the size of the digital circuitry. That with the more advanced VLSI technology, you can miniaturize the components, right? You can reduce the size as well as you can reduce the cost. Such technology advancements are there in the case of digital circuitry, but when you are looking at analog equipments, they have not shown a similar drop in cost as well as size. Okay, so that is one attraction. Another one, the integrity, data integrity. With the use of the repeaters, we already seen if you are using repeater instead of amplifier, there is no problem of amplification of the noise, and accordingly that cumulative noise problem is not there. So with the use of repeaters rather than amplifiers, the effect of noise and other signal impairments like attenuation, distortion, delay distortion, etc., those things are not, it is there, but once you regenerate the signal, that is simply eliminated. They are not going to be added cumulatively. Thus, it is possible to transmit data longer distances and over, say, even with the lower quality lines, you can send the data for longer distance if you are following the digital transmission technique. By digital means while maintaining the integrity or the correctness of the data. Another one, the capacity utilization. It has become economical to build transmission links of very high bandwidth, including satellite channel and optical fiber. Right now we have AirSnet, BSNL, everybody is giving you optical fiber, and what benefit you are getting? You are getting high data rate, right? But it has to be utilized also. If the service provider is providing optical fiber in your area, but only one or two people are using it, that will just a wastage of the resource, right? So that is why it is coming in the city areas only. Rural, it will take time. So whatever it is, with such technology advancements which are providing high bandwidth, we have to think whether we are able to utilize that bandwidth or not. Like with the satellite communication and optical fiber communication, we have enormous bandwidth available with us. Now, how we are efficiently utilizing the bandwidth? A high degree of something called multiplexing is needed to utilize such capacity effectively. Okay, and this multiplexing and all we will see in detail in the upcoming modules. As of now, multiplexing means many to one, right? That means from many small links, the information will be combined and it will try to go through a single communication channel with a very high bandwidth. So that is a basic idea. And how this utilization of the bandwidth by means of multiplexing is happening. And that process of multiplexing is more easily and cheaply achieved with the digital data than with the analog. So to understand this concept in detail, you have to understand how this time division multiplexing and frequency division multiplexing techniques are working. That we will see in the upcoming modules. Okay, so to utilize the high bandwidth that is being offered by the technologies like fiber optic channel and satellite communication, we need an efficient multiplexing technique, and such multiplexing techniques are more efficient when it comes to digital transmission. Okay, like time division multiplexing, and that those things, if you don't know, don't worry, we will see them in detail how these things are working. And security and privacy, of course, the encryption techniques can be readily applied to digital data. When it comes to our we will study in higher studies, and what is encryption. I think everybody is familiar with the term. Like for security purpose, data will be scrambled into a different representation, right, so that the third party will not be able to interpret the data. So such security provisions are most of the security algorithms we are studying, techniques which are available are working on digital data and not on analog data. So that is another attraction. And finally, if you are switching everything into digital transmission, that means both the digital data and analog data, everything finally you are sending say through digital transmission, then you have the advantage of integration. That means everything is coming under a common umbrella. Like by treating both analog and digital data, say digitally using digital signal, all signals have the same form and can be treated similarly. So there are chances of standardization, etc. So the economies of scale and convenience can be achieved by integrating voice, video, digital data, everything. So that is our current scenario. If you are looking at internet, we can use this internet for both text data, voice data, image, or phone calls, everything we can do through that. Okay, so that is how the technology is migrating towards the digital transmission. So these are all these 5 points you have to remember: digital technology, improvements, data integrity, point of view like the usage of repeaters, the capacity utilization, the multiplexing techniques, the encryption like security features, and everything can be integrated under this. Okay, with this we are winding up the discussion on digital and analog. We started with the terminology, then digital data, analog data, digital signaling, analog signaling, finally digital transmission and analog transmission, and we find that digital transmission is something superior to analog transmission. Okay, thank you.